Look, I got this Sportsman 231 Heritage about 2 years ago-ish from a private seller, and there's lots of things that I think are really great about it, but there are a few things that just don't fit the way I fish. So make sure you watch this video before you buy one of these boats so you know exactly what you're getting in. I have 5 pros. There are 5 pros that they're the reasons why I bought this boat. They're the reasons why I still think this boat is a great boat and probably one of the best boats out there of its type that, you know, I would highly recommend to anyone if they understood what I now know with those cons. And make sure you pay attention, or make sure you follow along the whole way down to the end so you can hear my cons, my 2 cons that I would say are, you know, inherent with this boat. Pro number 1 is the fit and finish. Sportsman is a newer boat company, but it is known for its fit and finish. You know, they do a great job. The glass work throughout, you know, everything around the Sportsman is just top notch. And that's why you see Sportsman being partnered up with companies like Seakeeper, you know, the gyro stabilization, and now the Seakeeper Ride, which is like almost like an automatic ride control. Why they partner up with Sportsman? Because they're just such solid, great boats with a great company behind it. So as far as fit and finish, you are not going to find a much better boat than the Sportsman for that price range, that mid-tier boat range. Number 2 is the biggest thing that drew me to the Sportsman was the fact that it fit 12 passengers, and not like 12 passengers crammed on there sitting on top of each other. It fits 12 people comfortably. Now, it's got a huge bench seat in the back. The leaning post fits too. The cooler seats easily fits too. And then that front wraparound seating area in the bow is just awesome. Now, do I want to go every single weekend out with 12 people? No, you don't want to cram 12 people on there when you know, every single weekend, but you can. It's ideal for a family of 4 to 6. Everyone can kind of spread out, have their own space. No one's going to be fighting over this seat or that seat. It really has a lot of different options for you to sit there too. And with those options, you know, of seating, there's less arguments of who gets this seat and who gets that seat, and there's just more room to move around. Okay, so my 3rd pro of this boat, now I'm going to say this boat's a little bit lighter than other boats in that mid-tier class, especially the 23-foot center consoles. And when you put a 250 horsepower Yamaha on the back of it, like my boat has, it flies. So I've topped out now at 58 miles per hour in my boat. And let me tell you, that's about as fast as I ever want to go in a boat. I never felt, you know, unsafe as like the boat was moving around a whole bunch, but it just felt like I couldn't react quick enough if something came up. But it is really nice to know on that kind of boat that if I throw that throttle down, that boat is going and I can outrun thunderstorms, or if I have some other sort of emergency back on land that I need to get to, or if I'm just chasing birds, I can throw that throttle down and I can get there quick. Now, kind of going along with that, it doesn't matter to me if it's fast, it matters to me more if it's a dry, safe ride. And even at higher speeds, like say 35 miles per hour, you know, in a moderate chop, the Sportsman can really cut through it. That V that it has at the front, the Carolina flare, really lends itself to dealing with that Chesapeake Bay chop really well. And if you get into waves that are bigger, it's nice to be able just to slow down, bow down, and put that big old bow into the wake or to the waves and just plow right through it. So as far as a dry ride, it's a super dry ride. It's super, you know, safe going through those waves. And I've been out in the open Chesapeake Bay where it's been kicked up and stuff like that. I fish a lot out by the Target Ship in Smith Island, and I've really never had any concerns being out there, or even when I'm out there being concerned about the weather changing and being stuck out there, because I know I can make it back with that size of a boat and some just, you know, persistence and taking it slow and just pushing through that wave. And my last pro, and I kind of mentioned it before when I was talking about a fast boat, it's also a lighter boat, which is great for me. I have a 6,000 pound boat lift, and it easily can be on my 6,000 pound boat lift, even for a 23-foot boat. But also it's a little more fuel efficient than some of the other bigger, heavier 23-foot boats, and it gets pushed really well with that 250 Yamaha that I have on the back of mine. Now, I'm going to say before I go on to the cons, that standard is a 200 horsepower Yamaha, and I've heard that it does push it really well. I just got lucky, and the used boat that I bought had the 250, and honestly, I don't know if I would want the boat any other way than with this 250, because it's got a great feel with it back there. And if you ask my son and his friends, it's one of the best boats ever to tube on. All right, so like I promised, I got 2 cons that I would say are the reasons, and they're really the sole reasons why I'm selling this boat right now. My biggest thing that I like to do as a fisherman is I love to go in shallow waters, catch perch, go back in creeks, catch, redfish and speckled trout and stuff like that, or even striped bass in shallow water. Always concerned I'm gonna rub the bottom or hit this or hit that. So it just doesn't fit my style of fishing. I thought when I got the boat, I was gonna be more into going out and going cobia fishing and going red drum fishing and going out to the open bay, but I just don't have the patience for it. I'm a pretty hyperactive fisherman. I'll fish for 5 minutes at one spot and then want to move to the spot and kind of do that, milk run type of fishing down a shoreline. Compared to the Sportsman, I feel like I got to get out there and I got to go around for a whole day out there to be able to utilize its fishing capabilities the best, and that just doesn't fit me as well. All right, and the second con is something else I really love to do, which is I love to go crabbing, and the sides on the gunnels on the Sportsman are just so high, which is really hard for crabbing, especially for my young son, but it's really great for safety if you're out in the open water. But for me, I don't go out in the open water enough to really realize that benefit. And kind of a bonus one too that I want to say is we do a lot of sandbar hopping and stuff like that, going from here to there, going up to Shark's Tooth Island and things like that. And it is harder to beach this boat than other boats that I've had. So that's one that that's another con that I would give this boat as well. Hopefully this information about the Sportsman 231 Heritage was helpful. Like I said, overall, it is a great boat for many people, but unfortunately I'm selling mine and it is not the right boat for me with the things I want to do right now. All right, if you have any questions or need any help about moving or living in the Chesapeake Bay area, go ahead, reach out to me, call me, text me, and I'll be happy to help. Don't forget too, you can scroll down to the first comment, click the link, and it will schedule a Zoom meeting one-on-one with me where we can talk about your home buying needs. And last but not least, if you like this Chesapeake Bay content, we're talking about all things at Chesapeake Bay and just what's local around here, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified every single time I put out new content. Hope to see you on the next video.